pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the day, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what's up everybody? Your boy is sad, man. I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. I need a song to cheer me up. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for Friday, May 26, 2023. I know I'm a little late. Because I had a situation. We got to give a moment of silence, y'all. Okay. Oh, man. Moment of silence for the lion. The lion that I just got last Saturday. It is no longer with us, man. And it's all my fault. And, yeah. So I'm sad. My son gave me like 5 hugs because he could see how sad I was. But it fell off the wall. And it's my fault because of the way I put it up there. So it's my fault. So, lesson learned, money lost, and I've already called and placed another order. So, yeah, since I know my man, we just gonna deal with the dollar bills. So I told him, it ain't no rush. Finish everybody else's order, and I'll let your boy. So, yep, little moment of silence for the lion, man. Came down the stairs. I came around the corner, and that mug was on the floor. And I was like, oh, my God. The tail broke. The foot broke. The thing is unsalvageable. So, yeah. But that's all right, man. Why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves up. And we got to, things could be worse. I could have gotten into a car accident or something like that. Something crazy, but it's just a material piece that can be replaced, thankfully. So, good thing it's not like a collector's edition. I would have been mad, man. So, anyway, it gives me that tells me, Derek, finish the studio. And let the lion be the last piece. That's where I'm at. So, I'm about to go hard, man, in this studio. What's up, everybody, in the comment section? J. Mommy, Braylon, Grit says, I need a longer version of the song to annoy my neighbor. That's funny, man. I need that laugh. Josh Jackson in the building. What's up? Yeah, well, listen. I tell y'all how I did it, all right? And it's my fault, so don't come at it. It's not what was used. It was where it was placed, okay? So as you know, I have drywall, and I was using command strips. Command strips are wheezy. There's a couple places you can't put them. You cannot put them in the sun. You cannot put them where it's moist, and you cannot put them on sticky brick. So the material of the sticky brick was like, nope. But the way it did it to me, y'all, it teased me. It held for 5 days. It literally fell off this. When I went to bed last night, it was still on the wall. It said, nope. They just said, mwah. They just dropped, bro. So I'm like, oh my God. So it's on me. I've used command strips. I have command strips, all right? You ready for this? Holding blankets on my wall in the basement. And they still there. That weigh much more than this Detroit Lion, but it was where I put them. So it's on me. Command strips usually don't fail if you use them right in the right places. I did not. That's on me. I got to eat the cost. I'm just glad the show's not. Like, if I was live and the studio was finished, I'd be sick. But it just tells me, you know what, Derek? That's a sign to me. That's a sign. Finish the studio, big dog. So it's on me. It is not on the command strips because I use them everywhere else and they work. They work. If you use them like they're supposed to, they work. But anyway, let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, everybody enjoying your weekend. It is Memorial Day coming up in 3 days. Usually some firecrackers are involved, so make sure you guys are safe. If you're drinking, be safe. If you partying, be safe. The key word is safe. That's what I want y'all to be this weekend, okay? Maybe not have a show Monday. Maybe just have one on Wednesday and Thursday. But if something break, dog, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. So anyway, it ain't going to stop me, y'all. It's only going to make me stronger. It hurt the pockets, though. It hurt the pockets. The pockets is like, why? But that mug was not cheap. It wasn't cheap, man. But anyway, let's talk about it. So I know where we going with this, okay? But we have to talk about it. All right, so let's get this thing started right away. Earlier today, there was a wide receiver that was released from the Arizona Cardinals after failing to trade him. His name is DeAndre Hopkins. Now, every time I make a DeAndre Hopkins video, it is accompanied by this sound here. But I wouldn't be a Detroit Lions content creator and not talk about it. Everybody's going to be talking about it, so we got to talk about it too. Josh with the dono says $10 toward the new strips or whatever you need, brother. Appreciate you, big dog. I appreciate that mug hurt the pockets, man. Oh, I appreciate you, bro, as always. But we got to talk about DeAndre Hopkins, all right? We have to because that's what we do. The Arizona Cardinals decided to release him after failing to trade him. His cap hit for their team this year is $24 million, but they released him anyway. He was set to make $19.5 million this year. And that's probably why he wasn't going anywhere. DeAndre Hopkins will be 31 on June the 6th, 2023. No, he's turning 30, right? Yeah, he was born in 93, so he's turning 30. He's turning 30. All right, at least if I did my math. I'm still shook for my lion. My lion is broke, man. Anyway, so we got to talk about it. Now, here's my conclusion. I'm giving you my thoughts early, and you leave yours in the comment section below in the chat section. Okay? DeAndre Hopkins. Now the money is not an issue. Now it's whether he wants to play for your team or not. And he's already been on I Am Athlete, and he talked about 5 quarterbacks. He was asked by Brandon Marshall, 5 quarterbacks he would like to play for. Jared Goff, obviously, wasn't on the list. Okay? So, do Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, mostly Brad Holmes, well, Dan Campbell would have to coach him, do they make a move? Okay, I say at least yes. Okay, B-Love says 31. Appreciate that. Solomon says he would be great, but he would throw a wrench in the chemistry. There you go. That's what I was going to say. He could come here and he could mess everything up. Or Solomon, he could come here and gel well together. You got St. Brown. You got maybe he's a good influence on Jameson Williams. Okay? These are all huge maybes. But do you at least try? You do. You do. Does that mean it's ultimately up to DeAndre Hopkins? And he's got anywhere in the world he can go. Buffalo Bills, that'd be nice. They could use another wide receiver. Buffalo Bills. Baltimore Ravens. He could wind up in any one of those teams. Braylon says, I wouldn't mind having him. Our receiving core will be elite. Grit says, if Brad wants him, he'll go after. If he don't, he won't. Not going to stress it. Yeah, Grit, that's what I'm saying. You don't hear stress in nobody's voice, right? Ain't nobody stressing over D-Hop. But what I'm saying is, should the Detroit Lions at least inquire? And I'm going to say yes. Is he a good fit? We don't know. Probably not. But people can change. There's a quote from one of my favorite movies where Rocky Balboa says, if I can change, you can change. Everybody can change. So everybody can change. Jameson Williams can change. We're going to talk about J-Mo a little later. But should the Detroit Lions at least inquire about DeAndre Hopkins? You got to say yes. You have to say yes. Bonzilla says, I would pass on him like that thing. I got you, bro. And in all honesty, the Lions are probably going to do that. They're going to do that because now you got DeAndre Hopkins, but DeAndre Hopkins ain't no slouch. He's had 2 off seasons, but the 4 before that, dog seasons. His last 3 with the Houston Texans, and then his first season, he had over 1,400 yards. That was the COVID year. That was when he snagged that thing in Buffalo, they were in Arizona when he did his best Calvin Johnson impression. So for me, I say you got to at least try. Will it happen? Probably not. But I guarantee you that Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, they sitting in that room, they wearing shirts of each other, and they're talking about it. They got it. Well, how can you not talk about it? You have to talk about it. So we're doing the same thing. So let me know in the comments below. Should the Detroit Lions pursue DeAndre Hopkins? I'm going to say yes. Will they? Probably not. Let me know what you think down below. What's up, Lion King? Says, Hop can ball, but do he want to catch under Jared Goff? You know what? It ain't even about that. It's about winning. It's about winning. But, man, you talking about calling somebody's bluff? The whole NFL called the Arizona Cardinals bluff. They said, you know what? We don't believe nothing. Ain't nobody making a move for them. And they cut the dude. Could you imagine? And that's kind of what scares me, too, of this whole thing, is the fact that this guy, you take a $24 million cap hit for a guy that was on your team. Like, he was on his team. He was there, right? But you took the hit. That's crazy. Bonzilla says 103 days. 103 days until the season. That's fantastic. Man, so we missed 104. Oh, man, shout out to everybody. You get the reference. There's 104 days to NFL season. Oh, man. All right, so we got to talk about something else, all right? And I'm going to try not to have my daddy voice on, okay? But we got to talk about it. I just got a tweet from someone saying Montgomery was hurt at practice. That must have been yesterday. I think he's talking about yesterday because OTAs ended yesterday. There is another one happening in sometime next week or the week after that. I think it's next week. I think it is maybe starting Tuesday or maybe the first week in June. Braylon says yes, inquire about him. I agree. Got to at least inquire. Okay, so we got to talk about Jameson Williams. I know we do. I know y'all sick of it, but we got to do what we got to do, okay? Wow, my video got 313 views, 313. All right, so let's do this. We got to talk about it, y'all. And it's kind of like one of them things where you see somebody on the wrong path. Y'all remember that commercial? I don't know how many people we got over the age of 35. But remember I got it from watching you. Remember that commercial? Let me know if you was alive for that commercial. The fuzzy SD. But that commercial, why bring that commercial up? Because apparently the son in that commercial had a bad influence. I wonder if that's what's happening with J-Mo. I'm not talking about his dad and nothing like that. I'm talking about just maybe his circle. Maybe his circle. Jameson Williams was in front of the media yesterday for the first time since his suspension. Okay? Now I have a lot of thoughts. I got a lot of thoughts. Bonzilla, do you remember the commercial? I got a lot of thoughts on J-Mo. But I saw something yesterday, and I hope that I'm right. Now, I'm no body language expert. I don't have a degree in body language assessment. That's not what I do here on YouTube. But you can kind of tell. Like, my son knew I was sad today. So he gave me a hug, because if you haven't heard, we got a broken lion. Lying down, man. My lion fell off the wall, and it was my fault. So I got to eat the cost. I've already put in the order for another one. Okay? So, but my son gave me a hug. He said, hugs make you feel better. He could see that I was sad, right? Jameson Williams has said he's one of them kids you can't peg. You don't know if you don't know, you can't pin him down, right? So yesterday he was in front of the media, and he mentioned he was asked about the suspension, first time since the suspension, okay? And we got to talk about some stuff. Oh, my God. It could be another Detroit Lions suspension coming, but we'll talk about that a little later. And in the video, okay, with the press asking about him. Now, I want to know if you saw it. Did you feel that Jameson Williams apologized or he took responsibility? Okay, I heard yesterday that, Jameson Williams took responsibility because he's not going to appeal. Okay? Yeah, you could say that, and that's part of it. But he didn't apologize. So let me know in the comments below, do you feel like Jameson Williams took responsibility based on what he said yesterday? Okay? Me personally, I say half and half. Okay? An apology to his teammates and to the fan base, the Lions organization, to me, that says that not necessarily he didn't take responsibility, but it may show that he's not apologetic. Okay? Gary says not in that interview. T-Stay Cole says he took responsibility. He's going to be okay. Okay, KD says yep. Okay, I'm going to side with Gary here. I don't think he took responsibility. Well, maybe he did. Maybe he took responsibility without directly saying it. I don't think he was apologetic. That's the better term. So he took responsibility by admitting he got caught up, by not appealing the suspension. But what I would like to have heard from Jameson Williams is, hey, first and foremost, before they even start talking, but this is my 43-year-old brain saying this. Before we start, before y'all asking me any questions, I want to apologize to my teammates. I want to apologize to Dan Campbell. I want to apologize to Brad Holmes. I want to apologize to Miss Sheila Hemp. I want to apologize to the Detroit Lions organization. I want to apologize to the fans. I know y'all have waited to see me. I know I messed up. Okay? And I will be better, right? That is what I would have liked to hear. But I'm also 43 years old. I don't know if I would have done that at 22. I don't know. 22, rich. I've been a dog for most of my career. Okay? But what I saw yesterday, and I hope that I'm right. I hope that I'm right. Jameson Williams is like, he's one of them people that when he is around certain people, he acts a certain way. I'm not saying he's acting fake, but he's more comfortable, right, in his own element. And when he's on Instagram, when he's in Vegas, when he's passing out waters, he's comfortable, right? And let me ask y'all a question. Do you think that, like I refer to Jameson Williams as a kid, and I say that because, A, I could be his father. I'm old enough to be his father. B, he's acting like a kid. And in a way, he is still a kid, right? He's in that adult, you're becoming an adult. Your decision-making, part of your brain is not fully developed. That is a fact at 22 years old, right? So I'm watching him, and it seems like, do you think that he's maybe a certain way around adults? Like he's around the reporters, he's one way, he's on Instagram, he's a whole nother way, right? So, but what I saw yesterday is a kid who, to me, was, I don't know, he looked uncomfortable. Gary says, yeah, LOL, he not thinking that deep. That's that dad brain, LOL, I'm the same way. You know what, Gary? You might be right, bro. You might be right. You know, I've made my fair share of mistakes. At 21, I was a doofus. I was a straight doofus. I didn't have the same responsibility Jameson Williams has. I didn't have the whole world watching me. I didn't have the organization on my back, but I was a doofus, that's for sure. He's probably smarter than I was at 22. But if you watch the interview, he looked uncomfortable. They were asking him some real questions. Where were you at? Did you know where you? No, I didn't know. Where were you at? I don't know. I don't know where it was at when it happened. You know, I'm not a gambler. I'm a football player. So my thing is, when he comes out of this, and I think I'm all for, like, I'm not holding this against Jameson Williams. I don't have to hold it against him. The fan base will do that. The organization will do that if they see fit. And the media will rip him up. See, I'm in that hood media. I'm part of Hood Media Inc. I'm on the internet. I'm the internet media. Okay? But I want to see this guy succeed. And he looked uncomfortable yesterday. So when he comes out of this, Jameson Williams will have everything. There's time for Jameson Williams. There is. Okay? He couldn't control the fact that he got hurt. He couldn't control the fact that he couldn't play until October. But the stuff in his control, he has to be more responsible. And when he comes out of this, and the more I talk, the more I sound like somebody's father. But when he comes out of this, he has an opportunity to learn from his mistakes. Okay? And that will truly show us who Jameson Williams is. When Jameson Williams comes out of this, that will show us who he truly is. I don't believe the mistakes that he's made define him. It's not who you are underneath, right? But what you do that defines. I almost got that out without laughing. And it was tough for me not to do the Batman voice, but it's a true statement. It's what he does, not just on the field, but off the field. So I'm rooting for this kid. I want him to get a second contract. I want him to get 1,000 yards. I want him to take one to the crib. I want him to do all of that. But he has an opportunity coming out of this to be better, and we'll see exactly what he does. What's up, HH? Says exactly, he's still a kid. His he's stupid, bro. With Hopkins released, should the Lions go after him? Smith, that was our first segment. I said yes. Will they? Probably not. But I did say yes. At least take him out to dinner. See what's like. What's up, D-Hop? Let me see what you're talking about. Have you know what I'm saying? You gonna be good if you don't get the ball all the time? You gonna come to practice? You know what I'm saying? You do all that? Let's talk. Anyone ever figure out what his problem was at the mic when he got drafted? Who, J-Mo? I'm maturing at 18, but I made mistakes because I have an older dad who been mentoring me along the way. You know what, T? See, that's a big deal. Like, my mom, she's 21 years older than me, 21, 22, right? And I think if you have an older, like an old school dad, old school parent, like, you don't realize how big that generational gap is until you are raised by, my wife's mom is a bit older than my mom was when she had me. So it's funny because I talk about my son's generation, my generation. I think that, and we are Generation X, right? Most of us. I'm part of X, I believe. So I feel like X is the perfect bridge between the generation now and the generation that came. Right? Because my mom is quite old school. She's quite old school, but she ain't super duper old school, like old school, but she old school enough, right? But got a little new school in her. My son is totally new school. Like, oh my God, the internet is off. But even I do that. We lose the internet. We're like, oh my God, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? So, that's just where we are in today's society. The internet has become y'all probably, who in the chat remember landline phones? Put a phone emoji in the chat if you remember a landline phone. Do you know that if you want a landline phone, you will pay a bunch of money? Now, landline phones are now not a thing that exists. They don't exist anymore. You have to specially ask for one, and you're going to pay a bunch of money. If your cable goes out, your phone goes out, because that's if you have one. Who at the crib got a house phone? Who got a house phone through their cable? I do. It was part of the triple play. But everybody got a cell phone, right? So I'm telling you, man, times are changing. Times are definitely changing, man. But we got to talk about something. Grit says take too long to search down that emoji. Hey, Grit, it took you too long to type that. You're a year older than me. Grit, was it your brother that I saw at Tubby's? I remember the rotary. Oh, my God. Shake and bake. Yeah, man. For those of you who don't know. Oh, man. Tony Jackson in the building. Man, my mom's used to pop up on phone when talking to Chip. Oh, man. And you know the sad thing is, y'all? Oh, track phones. Yeah, I remember them. Okay, Rareview says, I still got the cordless. Bruh. Wow. Yeah, man. We could have a whole show on old school. Kid says, I'm almost 28 and I want a house phone. Hey, I think everybody should have a house phone. But it ain't really a house phone because we'll get back to the Lions in a minute, but we reminiscing right now. If you had a house phone, you could be in total darkness, and guess what? If your phone was hooked up to that wall, you could still talk. You ain't got no power, and you on the phone. Oh, my power's off. Let's talk. Oh, man. Oh, Tony Jackson is Josh. Oh, what's up, Tony? I'm like, who is this dude? Who is, welcome, Tony. Your brother been rocking with me for a minute, bro. For a minute. Oh, man. Hey. Bonzilla says Zach Morris phones. Hey, bruh. hey, we need to go to the max. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh man. Okay, let's do one more thing on reminiscing, then we'll go back to the Lions. So I used to watch Saved by the Bell. Used to love Saved by the Bell, man. And they got this series on YouTube by Funny or Die. It's called Zach Morris is Trash. And if you watch it, bro, you be like, your childhood is ruined. You be like, dang, bro, he was kind of trash. Zach Morris is trash. All right, let's get serious. We gotta get back, bro. Rotary phones can be traced. That's right. Okay, so a rotary phone, for those of you who don't know, it's a phone with a circular number pad. Yes, that's right. A circular number pad. And what you had to do is in this circular number pad was numbers. There were little holes in the little dial, and you would dial the number. So for instance, if you had to dial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 7, 3, 4, right? You would go to the 7. You would turn it to the right. It would swing back to the left. You would go to the 3, turn it to the right. It would swing back to the left. And you had to do that the entire time. So, man, reminiscing is good. Nate said Zach was no AC for show. Y'all are stupid, bro. I don't think that's really my... Bruh, Josh, come on, man. You had me going, man. You had me... Oh, man. I'm 25 and I had a rotary phone. 911, yeah, you... Uh-oh. New England. The New England Patriots are eyeing DeAndre Hopkins. Well. That's going to be something I don't want to see, but we don't play them. We don't play DeAndre Hopkins, bro, in New England. Are you kidding? That is not a good fit at all. Wow. It's amazing that any man play for Bill. I mean, you probably going to win, but yeesh. All right, so we have to talk about this, y'all. We got to talk about this, and this is disappointing, all right? Because we have another round of suspensions coming, okay? So let's get this thing. We know that the Detroit Lions have lost Jamison Williams for 6 games. Stanley Berryhill has been cut. C.J. Moore and Quintez Cephas have been cut and suspended from the NFL for 1 year due to the gambling suspensions. And for some reason that I can't really pinpoint, the NFL is starting to crack down on this gambling thing. And I woke up this morning to a disturbing sight. Okay? I woke up to a disturbing sight, and that was the push notification that the NFL is investigating a 5th Detroit Lions player to be involved in the gambling. Okay? Who that player is, we don't know. Now, The Athletic was the first to report it. I don't know because you need a subscription to The Athletic, and I have not paid them. I've paid a lot of people, but I ain't paid them yet. The website did not name the player, but reported he did not have a prominent role in 2022. Who could it be? Who could that person be that is under investigation? But this is what I want to know too. How did the Athletic get this information? Like, who do you know that knows who this person is? And why not say who it is? Why not say who it is? Now, Jameson Williams said yesterday when he talked to the media that we've already discussed that, quote, it hit me out of the blue and it hit a couple other players around the league and on my team out of the blue. Williams said, I wasn't aware of the situation, but as it happened, like I said, I took it on the chin. I was ready to move forward as things moved on, and I got the consequences. So that's been my whole plan, moving forward from things and just looking at better days. Okay? That sounds like accountability. He didn't say I'm sorry, but that sounds like accountability. End quote. And then Dan Campbell said yesterday, which was Thursday the 25th, the organization has reminded players multiple times this spring about the league's gambling policy, which is posted inside every team's locker room. Additionally, the NFL Players Association sent a memo to agents this spring warning players not to open mobile betting apps while at work. Not to open the betting app. You can't even open it. Now, that tells you how far we are in technology. But my thing is, they're cracking down on this. Why? What's happening? Campbell said it's an emphasis on the league right now. It's a big thing. Our players know. We've tried to hammer it home. Certainly, we did after that point. We hit it 2 more times, and we'll just keep doing it. So they seem to be committed to letting everybody know what the ins and outs are when it comes to this. So now it's been confirmed you can't even open the mobile app. Right? Shakenbeck says he played in the team last year. He was not a prominent player. Going to be other teams too going on all across the league, just like I said. Yeah. That's facts. That is facts. And what did I just get? What did you just send me? What did you just send me? So my thing is this. Who was it? Who was it? And I tell you what, if that person is on the team right now, could you imagine? First of all, if he's on the team right now, he will be released. He gone. We don't know what he betted on, but he will be cut. He will be cut. Stanley Berryhill, he was not cut immediately, but he was cut. 2 weeks later, he was gone. The Lions will cut this person immediately. If he's on another team, imagine that. Imagine he's already gone to another team now, and he has to be dealt with. Rainbow Girl says, better not to be a starter. That's true. Let's also hope it wasn't an NFL game or it's a year. That's facts. Because we don't know if the person is still on our team. Like, if you're the Athletic, why would you say that? Oh, he wasn't a prominent player on the team last year, but who is he? Who could he be? Who is he? Is he still on the team? Where is he at now? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, but I was hoping, and I was thinking about making a video about it, but I didn't want to assume. I saw another Detroit Lions YouTube channel where they assumed that more suspensions were coming for the Detroit Lions. They were right, but it was a little clickbaity. I'm not going to lie. The clickbait kings is what I call them. But this is troublesome for not only the Detroit Lions, but the league. And I really don't blame the Detroit Lions. I don't. These guys have rookie symposiums. There is a message in the locker room where they spend a lot of their time. Everyone should know this. But now the Detroit Lions, NFL, now you got the NFL, the Detroit Lions, and their agents. So now the NFL is going to be more harsh with the punishments. I guarantee you. Everybody was like, well, Jameson Williams should have got 2 games. Jameson Williams got the punishment that he should have got. Right? If you get a ticket and you don't pay that ticket, what happens? You get a bunch of fines, and eventually you get a suspended license. You only went 1 over. The ticket was $70. Now you got to pay $1,000 to get your license reinstated. Now you have a suspension on your license. Your insurance goes up, right? So there are consequences to actions. Who are we to judge if it's too harsh or not? They made the rules. They made the consequences. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Is the player? How do you feel about the team? a fifth player who you think it could. I mean, well, you can't guess that, but I don't know. But this is troublesome to say. And I hope whatever happens, whether this person is still on the team or not, after this is over, it's over. It's over. We're free. We're clear. This person will be cut. And like you said, if it's an NFL game, he going for a year. I couldn't imagine not doing something. If you told me I couldn't make a YouTube video for a year, I would be sick. I honestly don't know what I would do. I don't know. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Rainbow Girl says, better not be a starter. I agree. Let's hope it wasn't. Yep. Is he still on the team or we don't know. They just said he wasn't a prominent player in 2022. Kid Rapper says, every time I get a ticket, I go to court. Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, most of the time, I just pay them. I get it over with. Because I don't want to be, I don't know, man. I just don't feel comfortable a lot of times with, the stuff going on here. So, this is going to be intriguing to see how this goes. But the NFL is going to tighten things up on all of this. Okay, so it was something I saw yesterday, and I wanted to talk about it. But it's escaping me right now. Okay, for some reason, MSN looks like they have us as one of the teams that should drop everything to get DeAndre Hopkins. It was something that happened yesterday that I wanted to talk about. Those year-long suspensions could be paying for the You Suck Football League soon. I always pay my tickets, don't want the police to come find me. Not only that, J-Mo, in terms of money lost, he lost $7 million, shake and bake. He lost $7 million. Jameson Williams lost $7 million. It was very close to 7. So, yeah. Yep, that's how that went. But it was something, let me see if I can look at my videos, because it was something I wanted to discuss. And I think my videos will remind me. Oh, yes, got it. All right. So y'all saw me yesterday. If you watched Detroit Lions Syndicate, that's my baby over there, pushing 12,000. I got goals, man. But I made a video over there, and the Lions did something. I can't believe I almost forgot to talk about this. We traded for Riley Patterson. Now, it's a conditional 7th-round pick. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it could be a 6th-round pick if what? We win a playoff game or something? If he makes the team, I don't know. But the Detroit Lions trade for Riley Patterson. Riley Patterson's name should sound familiar. Does it? It should. We cut him a year ago in favor of Austin Seibert, who we then cut. We cut Austin Seibert. Now, coming out of training camp, Riley Patterson was horrible. He was horrible. So he got beat out by Austin Seibert. We cut Austin Seibert, and we were in kicker purgatory. We had no kicker. So we signed Dominic Eberle. We signed dudes I can't even remember. I think somebody's name was Rojas. Aldrick Rojas, something like that. We signed a few kickers, and none of them worked out. Now, I mentioned in my video yesterday that kicker, or lack thereof, might have cost us a playoff spot. And I'm going to stand by that. We missed a kick in Minnesota. Dan Campbell had an opportunity to kick another time, and he chose to go for it. And I don't know it was a deep ball or something like that. But if you have a reliable kicker, you take the kick. Braylon says, Money Badger saved us. That's good. And I agree. And now Money Badger is going to be in competition. And coming out of Detroit Lions camp, it looks like there will be a three-person competition. They did not cut Tony John Parker Romo. They did not cut Michael Badgley. It will be a 3-person kicking competition. They also did not say because he's not officially signed yet. When he's officially signed, they will then release the corresponding move to make that spot for him. Rainbow Girl says, Patterson is greater than Money Badger, in my opinion. I actually agree with you. and I was livid when we cut him. I was so mad. Jacksonville decides to scoop him up immediately, right? Now, here's the thing about this. Brandon McManus was cut after an entire career with the Denver Broncos, not even on the market for 48 hours, snatched up, right? Lions didn't take a shot. Okay, fine. Snatched up, he now plays for the Denver Broncos. It had been reported earlier that day that Riley Patterson was waived. So imagine my surprise when I get back and I hear that we traded for Riley Patterson because they did not release him like we did. They kept him. They traded for him, and now he is a Detroit Lion. To me, that's the Lions admitting to a mistake and rectifying it. If you go and trade for a guy that you released less than 365 days later, you're saying, hey, we made a mistake. That's what you're saying. It was wrong. We made a mistake. And right now, they're going to have a 3-person competition. Now, one of these guys will go to the practice squad. In my opinion, I don't think Michael Badgley stays that long. I just don't. Somebody going to need a kicker somewhere. Robbie Gould is still a free agent. There's a lot of players that's still free agent, a lot of kickers. I think Michael Badgley could get picked up. Paul says, would it be a waste to have 2 kickers, Peterson and Money Badger? So they wouldn't do that, Paul. They usually keep 1 on the practice squad. There's usually a kicker on the practice squad. So that's probably what they're going to do. I don't think it's going to be Badgley, though. I feel like Badgley might get picked up because people saw what he did last year. Now, he cost us some games, though. He did cost us at least 1. I know he missed the Buffalo Bills kick. And if the Lions were content, they wouldn't even attempt. They didn't go after Brandon McManus, right? Maybe they didn't want to. Maybe they felt he was too old. I think he's only 32, right? But they went after a guy that they released. And we all knew it was a mistake when they did it. But they released a guy and traded for him. So I'm guessing, like I said, the conditional 7th round can be bumped up to a 6th because there's no 8th round anymore, right? So that's what they did. So it's going to be intriguing how this thing goes. I will rock with Badgley and Lil Die on that hill. Well, you know what? We'll see. We'll see. Because the Lions obviously don't trust him, bro. If they did, then they wouldn't have traded for Badgley. They wouldn't have picked up John Parker Romo. You know what I mean? I mean, you need at least another kicker. And Rainbow Girl says Badger weak on 50-plus yards. Yeah, he is. I'm sticking with Badger until he has a 60% field goal percentage. Patterson for the win. Okay, so let me ask you this. Who do you think wins this job? Matt Derry from Locked On Lions seems to believe the kicker isn't on the roster right now, that all 3 of them will be cut. And if that happens, then I'm going to feel some type of way because we could have picked up Brandon McManus. But we didn't even, as far as I know, we didn't even try to. So who do you think will win the kicking job come week 1 of the NFL season? Don't forget, they got training camp. We have another round of OTAs, and then we have the preseason. And the preseason is when jobs are secured. Okay, so Kid Rapper says Patterson. Jimbo says Patterson. And I believe that Patterson will win it as well. And I think that either Parker Romo or Badgley will be on the practice squad. I think Parker will stay. I think Badgley will get picked up. Rainbow Girl says Patterson. I like Badgley, but competition is good for all positions. Forces people to be their best. I agree. And KD3, the lone wolf, says Money Badger. Braylon says Badgley as well. All right, so we got the consensus is Riley Patterson. Let me know in the comments below who wins the kicking position. Man, what a day. What a day, man. DeAndre Hopkins released. My Lion fell off the wall and broke. We got another suspension coming, probably, for a Detroit Lion or a former Detroit Lion. What a day. What a day, man. Patty Grimes in the bill. What's up, Patty? Been a long time. Shake and Bake says, Denzel says Parker Romo will win it. That would be something. Badgley wasn't consistent. He missed in the Vikings and Packers game. Riley will win. He also missed in that Buffalo Bills game, remember? And that joint was short. That wasn't that long. Wasn't long at all. Patty Grimes says, Patterson, yeah, Paul, that mug fell off. It was my fault, bro. I stuck it onto material that did not mesh well with command strips. That worked, by the way. Command strips do work. I use them all the time. And this is the first time that one's failed. And it completely failed. So I will be using nails next time. Which is how you're supposed to put it up anyway. That's how you're supposed to. But I am hurt. My pockets are hurt. My feelings are really hurt. And I would much prefer for it to have fallen off the day of than tease me for a week and fell off. So, yeah. Fox is going to jump in there and show them all up, open up an extra roster spot. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Yep, so my lion is in pieces. The tail broke off, the back leg, but at least I got to make a video about it, and I got a story on it. So, Patterson's field goal percentage is 85.7. I like those odds and hit more 50-yarders if I'm looking at the stats right. Well, listen, it was a bad idea to let him go anyway. It was a bad idea, and the Lions are showing that it was a bad idea by trading for this dude. Like, you don't trade for a guy that you cut and, not say that was a bad decision. So the fact that they're trading for him says to me that they are aware that they made a boo-boo. and they trying to fix it. So we'll see how that goes. But let me see some Detroit Lions, since we don't have anything really coming up in the next couple of days. Let me list some important dates for you. Because can you believe that we are right around the corner, man? Like, this is crazy, man. How fast the season is flying past. All right, so Detroit Lions all-season schedule, OTA minicamp dates announced. This is from March, so exactly 2 months ago yesterday. And here's what we're looking at. Obviously, OTA workouts were the 25th through the 23rd through the 25th. So our Detroit Lions are back on Wednesday. They're back on Wednesday, but this time it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as opposed to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So they are back next week. So the fellas could leave for a weekend and come back to Detroit. They will be organized team activities May 31st, June 1st, June 2nd. Then they get almost 2 weeks off. They come back again June 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Mandatory minicamp is in between that, June 6th, 7th, and 8th. And, I think that's about it. That's about it. Once that happens, once that's over, then we are in the part of yeesh. Like, there's nothing there. So after that, let me see where we're at. Yep. After that, it's pretty much, says under Campbell, the Lions typically get close to full attendance for their first 6 OTA practices and minicamp, but then the Lions dismiss the veterans for the final 4 practices, allowing coaches to focus on younger players while also giving vets an early jump on their summer vacations. So after the middle of June, we will have nothing there. It'll just be gearing up for the season. If they want Patterson, why re-sign Badgley? Well, they signed him. Remember, Braylon, they signed Badgley. They re-signed Badgley long before. Patterson was just cut yesterday, or he was just traded yesterday. He became available yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't available before that. And Jacksonville obviously wasn't going to trade him with no kicker, but they were smart enough not to release him even when they got Brandon McManus. So that's why. I mean, it's simple to me, bro, because if they trusted Badgley, they wouldn't have signed Riley Patterson. You know what I'm saying? So obviously they weren't content. Now, maybe Badgley makes the roster. Maybe he beats out Patterson. Maybe he does. But they wanted at least to bring in some competition. So my feelings are hurt, y'all, but it's okay because we live to fight another day, and we're going to keep this thing going. got to get a new Lion, but now I'm going to put all my focus on to finishing everything else. And then now that's going to be the last thing I put up is the Lion. But at least y'all got to see it. At least I got to see it. Megatron, Shake and Bake with the Dono says Megatron is back. Can you imagine Megatron mentoring J-Mo? Man, that's exciting. Shake and Bake, I can't, man. And we need that to happen. And while it's not official, it is trending in the right direction. To me, they're very close. Calvin was on Fox 2 a couple days ago, and he said that they still talk, but everything is kind of in the same place. I don't know what the holdup is. I don't know why the money is tied up and how that works. I know it would count against the salary cap if they ever paid him. But the fact that he's at training camp or OTAs and around the organization, that's a big deal. That means that they're getting close. They're definitely getting close. So, yep. But I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, I was late. Came downstairs. The Lion was cracked, and I was sick, man. Sick about it. But like I said, we got to move on. So we got OTAs next week. Mandatory minicamp the week after that. And then one more set of OTAs, right? And basically 3 weeks from now, that's when everything goes ghost. The summer will be here. Vacations will be around, and we will be heading to the preseason. And don't forget that there are no cuts after each preseason game. That will come after the finale. I am going to be going to the Arrowhead game. I'm just working some kinks out right now. Fully intend to purchase those tickets and be there. What else? I am looking into at least going to stream live from a location at least one time this season. So if you are local to the Livonia area, Livonia, Northfield, Novi, Farmington Hills, then I look forward to seeing you. What else? I think that's it, man. I think that's it. So got to get to work and finish the studio setup. So the goal would be to be on camera by kickoff, like have everything done. I need lighting in the ceiling. I need the new computer will be here soon. There's a device that I need that's going to Braylon with the Dono says June 1st cuts coming sooner than later. Yeah. I mean, but Braylon, if they cut anybody, I mean, usually you go into the preseason with 90 men, right? So I think that they've cut whoever they're going to cut. I think that's already happened already, unless they have a corresponding move, like another person coming on the team. So we know if we did pick up DeAndre Hopkins, somebody would have to get cut. Shake and Bake says, I've already purchased Cowgirl and Saints tickets. That's you should have fun, man. You should definitely have fun. So it's going to be a fun time, man, for sure. Looking forward to this season. I'm kind of sad, though, because this season has been rough. Like this offseason, it's weird because it seems like it's gone by fast, right? We have always had, it's almost been 5 months since the Lions took their last snap. 5 months, man. Here in Michigan, we've gone through winter, we've gone through Super Bowl, and when you look at the NFL season as a whole, it never really stops. The season, playing is essentially from August to February, right? And by the end of January, all but 2 teams are done, and then there's 1 game left. But it's like, okay, Lions ended in heartbreaking fashion, but we did put out Aaron Rodgers. Kirby Joseph picked him off. His last pass is an interception, right? Finally got him up out of here. Then you go directly into the playoffs. Then you go to the Super Bowl. After the Super Bowl, it is like full-blown combine. Combine is in early March. Then free agency is 2 weeks after that. Then from that moment, it's draft. The draft has been 1 month ago. So it seems like it's going slow, but it really isn't. And this time next week is in June. Kids are getting out of school. And the thing that sucks, though, is when the season starts, they're back in school. Like so I don't want to rush my kids' summer or anything like that. But it's going to be here, I guess. And I guess the next time we're on, we'll have less than 100 days to the NFL season. So that's going to be fantastic. But I will see y'all next week. Probably won't be a show Monday because I know most of y'all will be enjoying Memorial Day. I'll probably be trying to get out there and work, get some money. Derek, do you know if you're going to the Seahawks game yet? Well, RG, I haven't really decided because so for Kansas City, going there, and then the Seahawks is the very next week, right? So if I did go to the Seahawks game, that would be like the last game I went to this year because this is kind of a business for me. Well, it's not kind of, it is. So I kind of need to be here doing these games. That's a big part of the season in the business. I do want to go to at least one home game. So I will definitely let you know. I don't know, though. I got to look and see how much the tickets cost and stuff like that. But it would be good to go. And like if any fans of the channel or obviously fans of the Lions, but fans of the channel, we could link up, you know what I'm saying, somewhere and have a good time. So I would definitely let you know. I'll price some of them tickets and see what they're looking at. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind going. Yep, I wouldn't mind going. Get to meet you and the fam and some other folks as well. So me and my son went to the preseason game, and that atmosphere was crazy. We lost, but it was crazy. It was crazy. And I know the tickets are going to go up the further we get. And if we beat Kansas City, oh, my God. Like, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy. But I will definitely make a community post or something about it. As a matter of fact, over the weekend, I will look and see how much those cost, and we can go from there. But with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. Have a good weekend. Be safe. If you're popping fireworks, be safe. If you're partying, being safe, the key word is safe because we got to get to the Lions season, man. It's going to be a good season. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. We will have less than 100 days to the season. Go Lions. Peace.
Hello, good morning. Horns is blowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty, but it's love though. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the post-credit scene. You know I do these every so often, and I got something to tell y'all, man. So, a person that I know that's very dear to me is found out that they have terminal cancer, and they're not going to be with us. They've been given about a year. And, you know, you guys know I've been going through some stuff, like internally with certain things on the platform and certain things that I've been through. And I had a moment, man, just of emotion. Let all this stuff out. Talk to my wife, talk to people I consider friends, and what I realize is as I'm shedding the emotion, finding out that this person who means a lot to me, very dear to me in my journey on YouTube, is dying, right? And what I realize is I needed to let out some things. Like, it's good to let stuff out every so often. You don't know you need to let it out, but sometimes you just need somebody to talk to, right? You just need a person to talk to and a person to listen. So I have my moment, and that passes, and I realized that I felt better after it. I was more clear. I had clarity. And the reason that I brought that up is because I've noticed something. And that is the battle that I'm fighting, right? I've already won it. I've already won that battle. And I don't think I realized that. Like, I knew I was so intent on winning the battle, right? On the disrespect that comes along with some of this stuff. And I noticed, I came to the conclusion yesterday. It was something that I saw and was like, wow, Derek, you've already won this thing, right? You know, you've been here long enough to know that I take everything personal. Like, everything I take personal. It's just a way that I become great. I internalize it. I channel it back into whatever I'm trying to do. I'm trying to pump out another rep. I take it personal. You know, I'm trying to run another mile or do another 15 minutes on the machine. I take it personal. That's just how I am. So I take a lot of stuff personal. But it's just something that I do to be able to funnel that out, create energy. It might not be the best thing for me to do, but I do it. And I live my life like that. That's just how I live. I thrive on disrespect and underappreciation. And I was watching something yesterday, and as I'm watching it, I realized that I've won this battle. It's already won. It's just a matter of time. See, I believe that everything happens the way it's supposed to. So the mistakes that I've gone through in my life, I realized it was a reason, right? I no longer have regrets. I look at them as learning experience. I stuck this lion on a wall with material that the command strips didn't work with. I learned my lesson, right? So I'm not going to stick it back up there. Now, on my drywall, it sticks. It would not come off. But I didn't do that, right? So I learned my lesson. It hurts, right? But I learned my lesson. So I just realized that I'm in a different place. And sometimes you got to step back. You got to just reassess everything and think clearly. And when you it's stuff that you might already know, right? But for some reason you don't accept it. I knew that it was only a matter of time before I won this fight. I knew it was only a matter of time. And yesterday, from what I saw, there's no fight left. It's not even a fight. It's like the Russian and Apollo Creed. It's not a fight. It's literally like beating someone when they're down. This is not a battle. I've already won it. It might not show in the numbers. It might not show in the subscriber count, but I've already won this fight. And it took me yesterday to realize that. So, okay, Jimbo, since you're part of the post-credit scene, he's all about himself, where he could get himself, and that's actually who I'm talking about. I am free of, I've already won, and I saw that. I've already won that. He's all about himself. He's never been about the team. He's not about the team. And guess what? It's okay. I'm truly over it. I'm better off for it. So I just wanted to tell y'all that. You can hear it in my voice. You might notice I don't say anything anymore. I don't talk about it anymore because my mind is clear. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I have to do. I've accepted it. And this person that told me that they're no longer going to be with us, devastated me. And it made me realize, and I got to let out a lot of emotion. right? So that's that. And now on to great things, man. On to great things. The studio set up. I'm going full swing. I'm going to try to release that by, wait a minute. Albert Breer reports the Chiefs received permission to talk to DeAndre Hopkins earlier in the offseason and spoke to him before the NFL draft. Okay, so what does that have to do with now? So anyway, sometimes you just gotta realize, right? Sometimes it's right in front of your face, but you don't see it. So, but you guys see it. You guys see who's real and all that stuff. And I finally accepted, and I'm gonna take my rightful spot, giving y'all the best content I possibly can. All right. So enjoy your weekend. Thank you for listening to me. Be safe, y'all. Don't do nothing dumb. Come back on next week with both your hands, all your fingers, all your eyes, all your toes. Okay? Don't drink and drive. Be smart. Be smart. Get an Uber. Stay at a friend's house. Whatever. It's okay to party, but you got to do it smart. You got to do anything you do, got to be responsible. All right? And, yeah, man, I will see y'all next week.